Hello and welcome to today's session. Today I want to talk about the lookup functions in Excel. What does the lookup function do? You give it a reference and a cell to look for a value for you, and then it returns the exact value that is on that reference cell that you have called. Now we have the VLOOKUP, the HLOOKUP, and the XLOOKUP. But today we'll be talking about the VLOOKUP and the HLOOKUP. So the VLOOKUP, how do we go about it? First, you input your VLOOKUP. So it asks you for a lookup value. Now looking at the table I have here, I'm going to use this right here, cash. The VLOOKUP takes whatever value you have, and then it assumes it is the leftmost value on your table. It does not treat anything on your right. So now that I'm using cash right here, everything on the left of this, both column and rows, are ignored. It only works with everything from here rightward. So I'm going to click on cash right now. You see M3. Then the next thing is the table array. Just like I stated earlier, it ignores everything on the left. So instead of coming back to mark from here, I just focus on this place and pick everything from here down to wherever I want. Let's just use this little space for the sake of this class. Now I have my array. This is where I want it to look from. Then the next is the column index. Since it's starting the count from cash here, going rightwards, I only have these values from here to look for something within them. So I'm going to count from cash. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. So I'll pick the fourth column index. And then the next thing is to choose if I want an approximate match or an exact match. Now, if you choose an approximate match, it might return a wrong value for you. So I'll go with the exact match. And here we have it. So what we have done right here is to pick cash here, and then look for the gross income of cash, which is 3.82. Which is exactly what we have right here. So this is what the VLOOKUP does. It picks vertically, that is, it looks for the next column that you reference to from here. This is the essence of the 4 number that we have here. It tells this formula to count the next 4 columns and then return whatever value we have here. And false here tells this formula to return the exact value that we have. This here, M3 to Q26, tells the formula where to look for that value for us. And then M3 is our lookup value. That is it on VLOOKUP. Then we go to the HLOOKUP. So the same way, you put this HLOOKUP. Now it's asking for a lookup value. One thing to note about the HLOOKUP is it looks horizontally, unlike the VLOOKUP, which looks vertically. So let's still use cash. So we click on cash. Each lookup ignores everything that is on top. So e-wallet here is of no essence to us. And everything that is on top of this very cell that we have chosen. Each lookup only looks at what we have under whichever column or cell that you have chosen. So for each lookup now we have chosen this cache. So the next thing is the table array. Now you don't need to start counting from the top here. Each lookup automatically knows cache as the topmost cell that we have here, because that is what we have made reference to. So it begins to count from here. So we just mark this array. This thing use this little space for the sake of this. Now we have our array. This is what we're going to look for. Then the next is row index. So like I said, VLOOKUPs looks for columns, and then each lookup looks for rows. Now, let's say we are looking for the value that comes out in the next 5 rows from this very one that we have made reference to, that is cached. So we're going to choose 5 here. And the next is asking for the range lookup. That is, are we looking for an approximate match or an exact match? So I'm going to choose exact match to get the very result I'm looking for. That is, it only looks for the 5th and nothing else. Then let's see what that gives us here. E-wallet. So counting from cash here, we have it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next thing that we have as the 5th value after cash is e-wallet. Okay, let's try to see what credit card will give us. That is the number or the cell reference for credit card. So we come back here. Then instead of this, let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So let's pick 8 here instead and enter. Now we have credit card. So this is how HLOOKUP works. VLOOKUP looks vertically and HLOOKUP looks horizontally. I hope you have learned something. Tell me what next you want us to talk about. I will surely do that for you. See you next time.